What to do, folks? I hope you're treating yourselves oh so well, and of course others. My name is Claire, and this is a channel where we like to do tarot readings. Today, I felt it'd be pertinent to do what is in the near future for you, what could be coming towards you, or what's about to happen, things to maybe identify before they happen, or things to avoid. So, let's get to the bottom of it, and I hope this is helpful. Pile 1. Okie dokie. So, we have Knave of Wands. And the Knave of Wands could signify you kind of giving in to something you swore off at one point in time. The Knave is page, so it's the thought before action. So you're contemplating something that you have maybe considered before, but revisiting in hopes of clarity. Or Six of Wands, where something has failed, you feel it is significant to at least identify where it went wrong or speak your piece in the situation. There is something about learning to communicate with this person or this environment. It's like a try again, but with almost no expectation involved. I think maybe you will be receiving a breakthrough because of it won't be something as though you're like receiving an earthly I'm trying to think of the least annoying way to put this. Life is slowly creeping up on you in a way that you will find motivation soon. Something about the way you failed in the past. You want to look good if you move forward in a certain way, but you're fearful of... It's almost like you're comparing your situation with what has failed you or maybe other people's situations. A strong you've been looking outside of your vision, your direction, maybe looking at how other people are thriving or getting on with their life, and it's not serving you mentally right now. But I think with the Emperor in reverse, yes, you might have people that are tugging at your mental strength. I think people are testing you in a way that they were trying to get over on you a lifestyle, or it's almost like people were trying to bully you out of an equation, stamp out your motivation to do anything. It almost could seem as deranged as making your life harder actively by doing physical actions. Like this person could have wished you ill will, could have actually, and it could be a group of people as well. There's just a few people that really did not have your best interest in mind because they wanted you out of their sights, visions, out of the way. And for a long period of time, you kind of progressed with this mentality or this vitriol, a hatred kind of swarming in your atmosphere. And I think recently you stood up for yourself. Congratulations. It has knocked some sense into the equation, per se. Like, what you were coming head to head with, it's almost like they're like, oh, this is what it's like when you're reflecting back what I have been doing. It's almost like this person or place, these people were projecting on you a lot of the chaos of what they deal with on a daily basis. Like, they were taking things out on you, perhaps. You were just in the way because you were around. And whether you know these people or not, they were treating you very poorly. And when you decided to stand up for yourself, it's almost like you turned around and looked at them and either just stood up for yourself in some way that you felt comfortable, or you reflected back, you started doing the same things that they were doing, but in a sophisticated way. You showed them what was up, and it was the Emperor in reverse. You had to, what you would be considered undignified, and I think it's paying off in a lot of ways. Like, your fury, the ways that you've grown up and maybe have neglected the side of you that is good at confrontation, that side of you are magnetic. I want to say magnanimous. I don't know what that means. So you are someone who knows your light and feels that you have some warmth to project on this world. You know your worth in a lot of ways, but you've let your power slip through your fingers by being non-confrontational, because you've led such a life that has been very disruptive, or you're trying to get back to purity and simplicity in the ways that you want to identify them and see them. It's almost like you were pushing forward in ways, and it has not been very fruitful. I see that. You have the Nine of Cups in reverse, so in relationships, certainly not fruitful. I think your mental state is strong, but lonely. There is a self-realization that's been creeping up in certain ways. Maybe you're finding it easy to identify what you need to do in self-routine, the ways you want to look better, or and the ways that you have power to make yourself feel better, which usually comes through routine or changing something health-wise or benefit-wise in your own life. You've been staying out of the way, except for you've been dealing with battles that come to your front doorstep or where you're at. Battles that come to you have what you've been facing lately. And the Eight of Cups, I think they are subsiding due to you finally being able to walk away in the near future, or you'll have in your sights a way out. There's something about, because there's a spider on the Eight of Cups, and this Eight of Cups is usually a card of walking away, and the person is like walking towards, it's like a lonesome person walking towards like a dark background. And I think there is a sense of, since that's not here, and it is a spider, and I think that's a good omen, you having your fury, your fiery side be on full display, putting it forward in general, not backing down from altercations or fights, or putting yourself out there, feeling yourself. You are making yourself more well-rounded, and I think you're being actualized by something that's coming towards you. Something coming towards you is going to help you define a more self-fulfilling lifestyle. The Two of Cups, and it almost seems like it comes in the form of someone caring about you so much that they care to figure out how you tick and what makes you the way that you are. Perhaps you've had a lot of superficial relationships and you look for things in a certain way. You like things in a certain way, and this, what's coming towards you, is going to test your boundaries of what you thought you wanted. Perhaps you'll go through a deadening phase, a severing of what you thought you enjoyed in relationships and back and forth of people. Perhaps you find a person, which could be a friend or a more romantic partner, or you're becoming close to someone in your life, closer to someone in your life. You're building a bond that helps you identify what you would very seriously be interested in, and I think you're honing in on how to move forward in a sophisticated lifestyle, which has evaded you because I think you were after something in a certain lifestyle or in a light that was skewed, the justice. You're fearful of looking like your standards have not been met in a lot of ways, because the Two of Cups, it has these two koi fish, and you want someone to be as beneficial, and you have a air about you where you don't want to waste your time any longer. You take yourself very seriously, so you want someone who is as malleable as you. You're finally seeing yourself in such a clear light that you know you're almost considering new endeavors. Maybe because you've taken some hard hits lately, or you're finally coming down from a high energy mind space or lifestyle. It's almost like you're calming, you're becoming more one with yourself, more centered. Something about seeing things in a different light is coming for you, and it's going to be blinding, undeniable things that you will not be able to avert your eyes. It will start slow and steady, something that you just have in your life, and I think it slowly defines what you're really into, really interested in. It blooms into different sectors of your life. It like splinters outwards. You're like kind of going steady on this pace. It's either like doing a hobby slowly, or talking to someone slowly, going to a place slowly. It's something where you just start like a little vein. You have a consistency that you're doing. Maybe you find a place that you want to go, or a job that is of small interest, or there's something about like hobbies, a person as well, as I stated, that you just slowly are creeping into a vein of communication, being around. It's something that starts off very small and splinters off into many sectors of your life, and it helps you define your next phase almost, and it's coming for you very quickly. The Justice card is not playing around. I think we've all been through a time of dealing. It's been very tumultuous lately. A lot of things have been heavier. There's been an ugliness that has been unveiled in a lot of ways. Things are coming out of the shadows left and right. We've got goblins and ghouls all over the place, and maybe you have come out and you have found the strength to not give in to whatever is been pushing and prodding at you. You don't give in, you just stand your ground. and that looks really good on you. And through that, there's just, you're identifying soon. Keep standing your ground, for sure. Do that. And I think there's many other ways of your life that don't have anything to do with that. That's just kind of like a one-off. Just like continue to do that because it looks good. It's in your favor, and just keep pushing through. Don't be bullied over here, just as an aside. But the Justice card, things are on your side and they're in your favor. Even if your stock seems to be low, or it seems like you're running on fumes right now, running on empty. Things are low right now. But through all that, the King of Swords, yeah. The King of Swords, what could this possibly mean? I think that you are maybe making a lane for yourself in the near future as well. There's something about the way that you are slowly creeping into something. It seems like maybe you are making a lane, or when I said identifying earlier, you could be finding something and making a space for yourself within it, because you have a style that is really strong and serious. And when I say serious, it just, when you come into an equation or do something, or it screams you. You have a style, you have a banter, a way of being, and it always screams you. So there's big growth coming for you. I think you've been setting roots in a lot of ways by standing your ground and taking care of yourself in the spaces that you've been able to, and soon you'll be growing outwards and upwards, so it'll be more visible. And the ways that you thought maybe, it's almost like a feeling of embarrassment, but you don't need to feel that, because everything is on your side and it's going in your favor. I promise. Things are coming to. It's coming to, I promise. And it's good. It's going to be good. So with that, you gotta know I love you. Pile 2, hello, greetings. So this is the near future for you, what's coming up, what's coming towards you, what's happening around you. So let's get into what that could mean. The 2 of Wands was your card. 2 of Wands. I really like the bird face in this card, and that the cape kind of looks like a circus tent. You thrive in chaos, or maybe people see your life as wild and deranged, or anything but simple, but you do live in routine. Like your life outwardly, or the way that you style yourself, the way that you dress or act, seems strange, different, lively. Words are failing me, because it just kind of seems like people look at you and they're like, this person is very styled, this person is very them, it's good, but it seems like you're high maintenance. And I think that you find routine works best for you, and things have not changed in a long time in your life. The 10 of Pentacles. You're on a slow and steady pace to working hard, but with more resources. There is a strong resistance to letting past places or people in. It seems like you're always looking forward, and the places that you're looking forward are not towards the past. But alas, it seems you are aware of the past because it keeps you from going backwards. Maybe you don't shy away from the things you've been through. It doesn't seem like you're scared of anything that happened in your life, but you are observant And it's pertinent for you to not make the same mistakes because you've learned your lesson. That's what you think of constantly, is how to experience things that you've not experienced before. And alas, this is coming towards you because you've been working very hard for a long time. Maybe even expressed to people how you feel excited for the future. People enjoy your community, or it's something about you is very comforting to others. They feel a connection to you, or that you look like people that they know, or people in general. They're always like, you look like this person, or you remind me of this person. There's something about the way your mouth moves, or your eyebrows or eye area, something like the inner eye, or it reminds people of other people frequently. But you do have a lot of striking features. There's something about how you do style yourself, or the way that you have put yourself outwardly in a physical way that is very different and hard to attain. Maybe you work out a lot, but the Four of Pentacles, no free game. You don't speak a lot. Maybe you don't post a lot on the internet. And if you do, it's kind of secretive, or it's not lifestyle content. Maybe you're interested in doing lifestyle content, but don't know how to put yourself out there. Maybe you thought in the future you would be making more personal statements, or be more personable with people. Maybe you thought you would write a book, or you're interested in speaking at conferences, maybe theater. Maybe you're thinking about acting, but there's something about you wanting to be more on display, but it is, you've been set back by time restraints or lack of confidence. Maybe you just kind of got caught up in a whirlwind of life, and now you're like, I want to put myself back out there, and you're starting to identify where you need to improve. There's something about Five of Wands. You're willing to change. You're willing to do a lot of things to get the better things in life, and this is the perfect attitude. People want to work with you for sure. It might be difficult to work with you because you're at a distance from the Six of Wands in reverse, and this was, the Six of Wands is a success card, and it was in reverse, but so was the Five of Wands. Yeah, this was, did I say this was in reverse? I'm pretty sure. But these cards are obviously one after the other, and they came out one after the other, but a little backwards. So it almost feels like you are tempted to reignite sparks with people that you have distanced yourself from. Maybe you find that there is merit in a conversation, and you're willing to not fight any longer because of distance, and time has made the situation null to you. Like, you don't have a dog in the fight. You don't care to speak on remembrances or emotions. It's just trying to get down to why it didn't work out and how maybe it could move forward. But there is a lack of hope. I think that you've been kind of tucked away in your domicile, and whatever you're trying to reignite, or you've been at a distance for so long that you don't really feel the closeness to what you were reaching out towards. You're kind of like, I don't know if it's going to amount to anything, but there is a need to level I'm hearing the playing field, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It may make sense to you, but okay. So it seems like you need to just like level all of what has been done and said, maybe clearing out the past in certain ways. You are about to level up, and it's Maybe you've gone through some despair lately, or just a complete demolishing of expectations. Something has really it's hurt your heart. And maybe all the burdens of expectation or hope kind of were relinquished in that way. So it's kind of a silver lining that you don't feel the heaviness of expectation. But the life that you, as you know it right now, is changing rapidly. You are in a very calm state as of lately, a one-note environment, and that is coming to a rapid halt. I think that it's a little jagged. I said judgment. So, judgment, and it was in reverse. The ways that you're feeling that you could be punished is not an actual punishment. What you're going through right now is not as bad as if you had the ties, and if you were doing more or had more on your plate at this point in time, it would sting more. It would be more repulsive to the senses. What you've dealt with recently. I think you realize that keeping it simple has benefited you in a lot of ways, because you almost don't want to stop living this really simple lifestyle, but it is coming for you that you will. You don't see it, maybe, perhaps, and there's a lot of reoccurring lessons. Maybe you're looking left and right and dealing with things that you're like, oh, this seems like a sign because it is familiar, or there's catharsis with dealing with this situation because I've dealt with it before, but I'm doing it right this time. But it might hurt. Like, you might be having to make decisions that are kind of painful. And it seems like, how many more of these painful life experiences do I have to go through before I experience some sort of stability, or what's going to happen, some sort of change, some shakeup. And the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's almost like you are not going to find the romance before you find your purpose. There's something about you are maybe wanting to settle down in certain ways of your life, giving up the fight, the entire fight. You're allowing comfort to seep in, because this was the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And with the Knight of Cups in reverse coming out as well, it almost seems like you're giving up the want to keep battling upwards or keep fighting the same fight that you have been in. And I think that's kind of like the weight dragging you down. Okay, apologies. So, with these two cards being in reverse, it certainly seems as though the plight, the weight of what you're having to deal with is dragging you down to the ground. And it almost seems like you have been considering a easier way out, a more simple lifestyle, doing things more of a easier way, diverting from what you have been on course doing. Maybe you have been in a place, a fight, fighting for something, working towards something. It doesn't seem like this is a relationship. I don't think this is with a person. This is something you have personally been working towards for so stinking long. And maybe you thought that the easy way out would be with a person, or you're being lulled into a state of perhaps this will be easier, so maybe I should do this instead. But your anxiety of going through that is spiking up, like it's making the hairs on your back, like, you know how cats, when they are frantic or annoyed, perturbed, their hair stands up on their back, or when animals feel threatened. It's almost like life is making you feel the anxiety of, if you were to settle in these ways, there's something about you settling for a job or a commitment, a lifestyle, and allowing it to be your direction instead of continuing the fight that you've been on for a very long time that makes you feel more alive. And it's easier, for sure. It's an easier thing, but your hopes and dreams are attainable. You got the second card was the Ten of Pentacles. Perhaps it seems like you're starting to stray away from what you really were seeing for yourself and thinking, maybe I'm trying too hard to get to a place that I'll never attain, or this is not reachable, this goal. There's something about the fear is creeping in on you, and it's for naught. It is just a matter of life trying to see if you have the wherewithal to push forward. The King of Swords in reverse. I think you're going to be annoyed and uptight the more you will let comfort sink into your spaces. You are a warrior, which sounds twee or trite, but you are someone who is made for the battle that's been placed upon you. The weight of what you're trying to do is something that you have the wherewithal to fight for. The lifestyle of giving in and allowing comfort to be what you aim for on a daily basis will surely make you the King of Swords in reverse. It'll make you combative and wishing that you were striving for more, because you are someone who fights naturally. The Emperor. Look at that. And I said the first card, I chose this card, which was the Two of Wands, because I liked the bird head. We're back to the bird head. Look at that. So you'll get back to yourself very soon, very naturally. I think it might not be easiest starting to unravel in certain ways, to get back on your course and maybe be straight up like, this is what I'm actually trying to do. Maybe having to be upfront and honest with people around you or just yourself in certain ways. But it's going to take an effort of getting back on course, putting yourself on the front line again, speaking yourself into your truth once more, which I think there's just a few ways where you have kind of stayed silent or allowed the things that you think about to pile up around you, because the Emperor has these mounds around him, and it just seems there are things that you are needing to address in your life, and you doing that, it's almost like things start to unravel in such a way that it's obvious what is fulfilling, what is more nurturing to your life, and you won't have the time passing you by feeling I could be doing more. You won't feel slighted by the things that you do put out into the world, because you'll just feel the tranquility of having done it. It's almost like you'll just be on your path again of just loving what you're doing and it not being affected outwardly by others. So that's going to grow. It's going to be on display and it's going to look good. And you got this. I know I love you. Greetings, pile 3. Hello. So this is the near future, what's coming up for you, what's coming at you, hearing what's being said around you. So let's consider what that's about. Okay, so pile 3, and your card was the Emperor. This guy looks kind of calm, perhaps. He looks calm. He's holding a sword by the blade. It almost seems like he's, I want to say on display. Obviously, it's the Emperor, but something about you've worked really hard to get to a point in your life, whether it be mentally, physically, financially, work-wise, love-wise. Something about you have taken on a lifestyle, but it is justice, the Emperor and then justice, and these cards do look nice together. Maybe your life is being turned upside down in the near future, but in a beautiful way. It's almost like you're taking on a fairy tale. How lovely. So I certainly love the colors of this, like even the patterns. 1,000 out of 10 card, gorgeous, darling. So you could be justified by having someone come back into your life or coming into your life that is on your level in some way, and it almost seems justified that what you've been through, how it all came full circle. Like, there's something about the way that you needed more time and assistance, and so did this person, to finally come together in such a manner. And because there are the scales, and it makes me think the scales of time. And you also got the Devil in reverse. So you've gotten all major cards, and the Devil was in reverse, so we love to see it. This Devil card is salacious. I find it to be enchanting in certain ways. I don't know why I said salacious. I think it may just, it's because it's the Devil, but also it looks appealing. Like this, there's snakes at the bottom. It's an angel that turns into a snake, perhaps. And I think that it was tantalizing to maybe give up at one point in time or to act a certain way, but you coming back around into a situation, I think maybe it's you that's turning it back around. With time and effort, these things have shown their pertinence or their merit in your life. Worth an effort, worth a try, glaringly obvious what you shouldn't be doing because it has not worked for you. The Devil has shown its ugly head, and then literally I put the Devil down and then I put the 5 of Cups right on top of it. You felt very lonesome and lonely through the actions that have been taken, and I think you have identified in what ways you want to move forward, and you will be openly welcomed back into an environment if you just let yourself be free and lay it all on the line. There's something about your approach of silence and seeing things out in silence, letting things take their course has been your plan of action in a lot of ways. And you've seen where you have power in this situation and how it could feel good to take the effort, take the bull by the horns to make this situation yours. Will look good on you and also be fruitful in a lot of ways. I think that there's a lot of environments that have not suited you because you were not ready to be in them in the state that you were in. You didn't look the part, or you weren't mentally well enough to attain the spaces that you were going for before the Seven of Cups in reverse. But you've always had them in your sights. It's almost like you've been working on your path in the shadows, or creeping along, making your way in lack of haste. You've been doing the things that you know work for you, and it's been comforting to do them kind of in your own company. Perhaps you haven't let a lot of people into what you've been doing, or if you have, it's been a road of just people watching and not being a part of it, perhaps kind of lonely. But you're turning things around by letting a few people in, or a person in. There's something about maybe a relationship that changes your trajectory, or if it's a community, but it just does seem like a person is helping you creatively and outwardly. There's a changing of everything. A lot of gripping, like you're going to be wrapped up in the situation emotionally, where you have not found that in a long time, or you didn't think that this was possible for you. Perhaps the love that has been identified, or the caring. Maybe you didn't have a want to live, or for so long it's been dormant, like you haven't found anything to be excited about, or you haven't had friends that you've enjoyed in the company of. You haven't been with someone that you have been like, this is gonna work. There's just about community, love, something about it clicking, happening, because you had the 5, and then you had the 7 come out, and then the 7 was in reverse, the 5 was upright, and then these are all cups, and then to seal it off, the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is about remembering the good times, and there is something about you realizing how poorly you were treated, like seeing your worth in a lot of ways, and how you let a lot of shit slide at one point in time, and how that's not possible any longer, just because the way you speak up now, the way that you talk about things that have happened to you. You also just don't attract, if you attract the wrong sort of people, it gets flushed out really quickly for you. And there's something about how you let go of a person, place, or something like that. You've let go of so many things, and you're for better. I think that you enjoy people's company, you enjoy friendships, love, you love love, those sort of notions, they're yours, but you don't miss any of your past relationships or friendships enough until I think there is something in your mind's eye where, with the 6 of Cups, it is the 6 of Cups. I think that there's something about you seeing something for what it is now. It had to also find its way into the equation. Like, it was something from the past that had been unidentified or looked over. Just, it wasn't ready. A person, place, or thing. It wasn't ready. And now it is. Now it's becoming more obvious day by day that it is something that you want to work towards, and could very well be on your path for the extended period of time. The 6 of Cups is feeling nostalgia and a closeness to the past, but maybe that's what you thought it was. Like, maybe you only have a lot of really good memories in certain places, or have felt a connection in certain ways with people, but they just didn't meet the criteria at the time. There's something about you're just seeing a light glimmer in something, and it's catching your eye and becoming more of a what's going on over there sort of situation. You like can't look away, and it's becoming the Judgment in reverse. If you have a lightness in your heart towards something, that you're kind of a glimmer in your eye, a need or a want to explore this past thing, I think there is a revelation, and I think that you going through the motions with it, trying to figure out how it can work for you, what is it that you're interested in about it, like poking and prodding this thing, speaking to it, going to it, traveling, going through the motions of asking questions or applying to something, just Judgment in reverse. I think you will find a lightness that is met with it. Like, you will be rewarded for this. The Two of Pentacles, it might be a less obvious. Outwardly, you might look at it and be like, how is this even possible? How is this something that can change my life? Because maybe on the outward appearance, this, like, you plus this doesn't come together cohesively or easily. Like, you just putting yourself in this situation doesn't seem like, oh yeah, that's the answer, it's perfect, it's gonna work out great. It does not seem outwardly like it seems like risky. It seems like something that you would have to side-eye a few times and be like, is this worth the risk? Am I going to go through this and be denied happiness, or am I going to falter? Is this going to fail me in some way? And it's not. The Judgment in reverse, I think that you have to give a little in order for this to show, in order for it to blossom, or I'm hearing magnate. So I think there's something about things in the shadows don't grow. Things in the darkness do not thrive. So you need to shine a little bit of your light towards this direction, show your interest, put effort in. If there's small ways, just putting forth that you are interested in this thing, that you're putting effort into it, making decisions toward it, just these sort of notions, it will work with you. It will bloom in your favor. It will blossom. It's not obvious. These things are not obvious upon sight. On the visual recognizing of it, it's a gamble for sure. One more card. The Magician. The Magician. Hi. So, number 1, the Magician. And I love the pattern that he has. I love everything about this card. It just is you. It's you getting what you wanted out of a situation and not dealing with the hurdles. Growing, and yes, growing becomes painful at times and monotonous at times, but you have a zest to grow in this direction, and it also builds on your appetite for life. This is a rebirth of mindset and state of mind. This is something that the more you work towards it, it works in your favor. And it does take you stepping out a little bit, like on the ledge, or putting effort forward first. You might be the first person to say something or speak your mind or something like that. Just putting yourself out there and putting it on display for sure is your magic. You have a draw, and I don't think it will fall away in ways that it has in the past. I don't think there's hurt in the future for you. I think that you have alchemized a lot of pain and resistance. Maybe there was even a resistance to change. You've considered a lot of things recently, and this is going to be something where it doesn't feel like it is dragging you down or just another task or obstacle that you've gone through lately. This is the big time, baby. Yeah, you've got this. It's going to look good, it's going to feel good, and you're going to want it actually very deeply. So with that, you got to know I love you.